it's Romy. Thanks for tuning into the channel. I wanted to share with you a quick video for the new moon in Taurus, which is taking place on the 22nd, 23rd of April at 3 degrees and 24 minutes of Taurus. And today I have pulled both a tarot card and an oracle card for each of the sun signs. So we're just going to work our way through the intuitive messages that are going to come through for you for this beautiful new moon energy. So thanks so much for being here. Do make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already, so you don't miss any notifications about the next videos coming out. And if you've enjoyed the video, please do drop me a like and a comment. Okay, so we're going to begin with the sign of Aries. Aries, we have the tarot card of the Nine of Cups, and we have the oracle card of the Dawn Watcher. Okay, so the new moon in Taurus is in your second house of value, material resources and self-worth. And you can see with this card of the Nine of Cups that we actually have her jumping out of this treasure chest at the moment with gold coins and jewelry. And all of these cups seem to be slightly in a kind of disarray. However, she looks quite free, she looks quite liberated. And so for some of you, this new moon is inviting you to consider this as a new cycle, a new opportunity to reevaluate, to think about what your desires and your wishes are against the current backdrop and the changes that you may have found for yourself on a personal level in terms of your, your income streams or the resources that are available to you. But there's something about the Nine of Cups that's saying, this is actually an opportunity for you to really make an adjustment and bring something closer that is much more aligned to your heart space. This is about bringing something in that perhaps has been a dream or a wish or an idea that you've had for a long time. And it's also inviting you to reflect and consider, where you now have the chance to think about how you value yourself, perhaps giving you the opportunity to step away, some of you, from your current work, or having a little bit more space and time to be able to think about that, is going to give you the opportunity to see maybe where you want to start changing direction or adding something new. So we can see that she is looking very liberated in this particular card. Her hair is blue, which suggests to me that it's a time for you to be really innovative, to be unique, to be yourself, to express those wishes, those ideas, those new intentions, and to be bold with them. Taurus is an energy that looks toward the long term. It's about knowing that this is a period of sustained growth, and if we direct ourselves in the right way, we can really harness and unearth new potential with that. Nine of Cups bringing in a moment of emotional sweetness for you under this new moon, so something perhaps unexpected coming in, connected to resources, or perhaps a new opportunity that might reveal itself. Now we also have the Dawn Watcher as your oracle card, Aries. Very serene, calm sea here. So there is something about healing energies wanting to come forward. The activation of her third eye here, reminding you that you can find that stillness within. And here we have the notes of caretaker, guardian and support. Now interestingly, Saturn in Aquarius is activating your 11th house, so this new moon is square to Saturn, meaning that there is likely to be some tension, some friction around that area for you. So perhaps friendships, groups, the wider community, and maybe that's because you're not having the ability to connect to people in the way that you are used to, or perhaps that's where there was an income stream or a way that you ran your business that isn't currently available to you. The reminder though that's coming through in this reading is that there are still ways that you can show up, that you can support and nurture both yourself and others. And perhaps again it's giving you cause to reflect and think about the people that you have been around, and whether moving forward you want to make any adjustments or changes to that. Perhaps if you've spent an awful lot of time on your own, you're now understanding the need, once we move beyond this current limited experience that we're in, that you're going to be ready to step out and to connect and to be more physically connected with people. So there is a trigger there with Saturn in your 11th that you're being invited to consider. But that Nine of Cups is absolutely wanting to remind you that there is some sweetness that can unfold during this cycle of growth in the Taurus new moon. So think about the next 6 months and what you want to achieve in that cycle in terms of your resources, your income streams, and your sense of value. Aries, thanks so much. I send you beautiful blessings for this new moon. Take good care. Okay, Taurus, it is your new moon. Many birthday blessings for your solar return season. So we've selected 2 cards for you. The first is a tarot card, the Ace of Swords, and then we have your oracle card, Homeward Traveler. Okay, Taurus, so this new moon in your first house, ushering in the opportunity for a brand new beginning, a reinvention of self. And I love that that's further enhanced by the Ace of Swords for you today. Ace of Swords absolutely bringing in a clarity of vision. Where do you see yourself? How has this current collective experience that we're going through changed you, changed your outlook? Where is it asking you to make an adjustment and to allow yourself to transform somewhere in your life, somewhere within yourself? You're absolutely receiving this powerful solar returns energy now to help give that new vision. And this is a very strong energy with which you can work to harness, to cultivate, to tend, so that moving forward, you might be making small adjustments, you might be making incredibly profound changes in your life. Remember, Uranus still in your sign is working for that radical overhaul in the next few years, Taurus, anyway. But the Ace of Swords also asks us to be truthful and honest, both with ourselves and with others. So I think under this new moon, you're also going to feel the sense of bravery that you need, the sense of confidence to be able to stand up and show up and say what's on your mind, what's in your heart, and that those words are going to come from a really pure place. It will give you the opportunity perhaps to have a clean kind of new beginning somewhere that is going to be offering you the chance to be able to show up in a way that lets you be more of yourself. This is all about the changes that you want to make within you. And I have a sense, with her eyes closed here, that you are listening intently to your soul speak at the moment. And there are going to be some really powerful messages that are coming through for you through this Taurus season to help you navigate. And, when we talk about the navigation, let's just highlight this beautiful oracle card, because we might have this mountain in the background. Perhaps it feels impassable at the moment, but you can see this river snaking its way through the forest, but it's lit up by these beautiful light orbs. So remember, water is powerful and can carve its way around and through any obstacle. And I think that's the message that's coming through for you really strongly here, that you are being guided, and if you follow those signposts, those intuitive nudges, where you are being invited to reinvent, to change, to step into your power, to show up, where you want to have a new beginning, this is the time to really set that vision out, and don't be put off by any obstacles that you may see standing in your way right now. Now, Saturn, which is squaring this moon, is in your 10th house of long-term planning, of your legacy, of reputation, and perhaps this is where we're getting some tension and friction, because you might be wanting to invite in this new beginning, having something that you want to get moving and started on, and then thinking, what does it even look like in the long term? I don't even really have an understanding of what the economy, of where I'll be, of what anything will look or feel like, if these dreams are even possible moving forward. But remember, this river is absolutely carving its way around the mountain. So maybe you're feeling some tension and some contrast, but Spirit are inviting you to sit in that energy and go beyond it, you know, to see the possibilities. Now, the 10th house also rules father figure, that archetype of a boss or a male in our life. And so again, maybe there's some tension that comes up around that, particularly in planning, you know, or maybe there's a difference of opinion or conversations that might be taking place around that. But again, you are being invited to just be very honest with yourself. Ace of Swords, you know, first and foremost, understand what your motivations are, where you're coming from, making sure it's from a place of integrity within yourself, and then knowing that to be true, being not afraid to put forward what that vision looks like for you. So beautiful cards that come up. I think this is a really powerful energy for you to work with, Taurus. I wish you a beautiful new moon. I hope you harness its potential and start to focus on the future and all of the hope and possibility that that's bringing in for you. Bright blessings. Okay, Gemini, so it's a Taurus new moon. Your intuitive messages, we've selected 2 cards, a tarot card bringing up the King of Wands, and then we have your oracle card, the Healing Temple of the Lunar Light. Okay, so the new moon in Taurus, Gemini, is in your 12th house. 12th house of spiritual surrender, of solitude, the need for retreat and that powerful sense of healing to take place. But what also comes from the energy of the 12th is that deep awareness of our subconscious. And through that, we can tap into the fiery essence of the King of Wands, because I feel here what he's saying is that under this new moon energy, Gemini, you have the opportunity to tap into a creative vision. You know, King of Wands is a wonderful archetype energy to work with when we want to see things from a completely different perspective. We want to recognize the opportunities that are available to us. And in the 12th house, we're being invited to go deeper into our intuitive self, you know, that esoteric kind of energy. So it's not necessarily what's being presented or mirrored back to you in the physical right now. The answers that you're seeking, the way that you can work with this energy, how you can set new intentions for the next cycle and work with this King of Wands is absolutely when you drop into that deeper part of yourself. So allowing the time to meditate, to take stock, to surrender where you need to, will unearth and unlock the creative vision and perhaps illuminate where your strength lies, where your boldness is, where your bravery and your courage is ready to step forth. So, you know, give yourself this sacred rest, this time to see what your soul wants to share with you. King of Wands, I feel, is about bringing in this powerful vision. Now, Saturn in Aquarius squaring this new moon is activating your 9th house, okay? So 9th house of higher learning, of travel, and your ability to think about the truth and set off on a new vision quest. Now, of course, you may be feeling the restrictions physically and being able to travel, to plan, to kind of expand and feel more positive about what the future brings. But you know what? The King of Wands has that fire energy, you know, the 9th house ruled by Sagittarius, and this Sagittarian energy coming through the King of Wands is saying, you still have the opportunity to tap into that. The way that we do that is by going inwards. Here we have this healing temple of the lunar light, almost giving you the perfect sacred space to dive deep into that 12th house and allow yourself the chance to illuminate, you know, that full moon here in the card, illuminating what the answers are. So some profound truths coming to you, I think, when you take time to sit with the energy of this Taurus moon and try to come at it from a higher perspective. Try to see what the learning and all of what is happening around you right now, Gemini, what it means for you and how you can use it to spark a new vision for yourself and for your life. And remember, the contrast energy of that square to Saturn invites you to, you know, consider your own thought forms and patterns and perhaps where you're limiting yourself. You You know, Saturn is tough love, but it does want us to expand. It wants us to see where we've been holding ourselves back and then make changes and do the work and show up so that moving forward we can start to charter a whole new course for ourselves. So there's an adventure that's brewing, there's a creative vision that's forming. And remember, you know, we're just around the corner from Gemini season, which is when you're going to be stepping into that beautiful solar returns energy. So allow the sacred rest, because through that rest period, that tapping into that deeper, darker aspect of yourself, that's where the secrets are going to come through, flooding through, actually, if we look at the way that waterfall is, you know, coming down. And that King of Wands acting as your guide here to spark something within you that I feel is going to really become prevalent and important as we move into your season and through the rest of this year. So Taurus energy wants us to feel secure. It wants to nurture, to tend that garden within our soul. It has patience, it has endurance, it has stamina. These are all energies that you are accessing right now under this new moon, Gemini. So take the time to retreat where you need to, surrender into the what is, allow the healing to come through from this beautiful temple of lunar light, knowing that you are going to be given both the courage, the bravery, and the vision for what comes next. Thank you so much. Take good care, and wishing you bright blessings for the new moon. Hi Cancer, thank you for joining me. This is your new moon in Taurus message. So we've selected a tarot card for you, which is the Queen of Wands, and a oracle card for you, which is the Mother Awakens. Okay, so Cancer, the Taurus new moon is in your 11th house of community, of friendship, of technology. So you're being invited during this transit to think about the new intentions and seeds that you want to place in those particular areas of your life. For some of you, maybe the backdrop of this current situation is really helping you to reevaluate your communities, you know, perhaps where you want to expand or redirect or create. You know, it's probably shining a light for some of you around the friendships that feel very absent, the people that you really are realizing how much you miss or you want to connect to, or perhaps, you know, where you've had the opportunity to step away and not feeling quite so drained now that you're kind of calling that energy back in to yourself. So the new moon giving you a chance to set out a new vision for the future. And the Queen of Wands is passionate about that. You know, she's got ideas, she's really feeling illuminated and enthusiastic about the potential. Surrounded by all of these beautiful candles, she knows that what she has to offer is of value, that it can help not only her but so many people around her. And she feels really comfortable in the approach and the direction that she's ready to take. Beautiful sense of creative manifesting energy coming in, and of course a new moon always giving us that powerful burst to be able to set something into motion. So you may well be getting really unexpected but vibrant new ideas coming in with this Taurus new moon. Remember, Taurus is about the cultivation. It wants to tend to that garden. It wants to look at the long-term planning where it can feel safe and secure, and you know, it has the energy to keep going. So Queen of Wands bringing in that beautiful passion and fire energy, but against the backdrop of a Taurus new moon, you're also being given the endurance and the fortitude to carry it through, which is really wonderful. Not being afraid to put your hand up and to show up, to say what you have to offer, what you have to deliver, and I think that's important. Use your voice. Queen of Wands is bold and brave in that way. And when we look at your oracle card here, the Mother Awakens, compassion, nurture, guidance. You know, you've got this beautiful rainbow coming out from her, you know, her chest area here, talking about the blessings that are coming your way, inviting you to consider how you can look at your current situation from a place of opportunity seeing that there's growth all around her, and there's a stillness here, and the beautiful light that's emanating out, you know, with this rainbow is one of magical kind of intention. So whatever it is that you have on your mind that you want to share, that you want to honor, that you want to begin, it's really potent and it's really nurturing, not only for you, because I think it's going to help your energy and help you to feel more grounded within yourself, but there's important guidance, you know, maybe it's about your awakening or the way that you're going to be able to help awaken others, Cancer, but it's really a powerful energy to be working with. Now, Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, square to this moon, is activating your 8th house of commitment, of that joint ventures, of looking at, you know, the way that you invest. So, you know, again, maybe you're thinking about the investment of the financial resources or where your energy is going towards and to whom. And I think that's important so that you don't leak energy. You know, the water coming down here, kind of almost feeling like, you know, it can run away. It can kind of quickly dissipate and be soaked up by all of this kind of green foliage that needs the sustenance and the nourishment. And that's wonderful, but just make sure it's not at the cost of draining your energy right now. You need to make sure that this light is sustainable. So what are you doing right now to nurture within yourself? 8th house, of course, is about the rebirth. And the way that we deal with the ideas of death and the metamorphosis of self. So, you know, some trigger and some tension around that theme for you coming up in this Taurus new moon, Cancer, inviting you to go deeper, to think about themes of power and money and how they're being reflected back to you with the backdrop of what is happening just now, and perhaps where your own priorities are shifting and changing in and around that just now. But very strong divine feminine energy linking into that Cancer archetype of the mother energy that is so resonant with you anyway. But you have beautiful new inspiration coming through and a blessing that I feel will emerge under this new moon, Cancer. So I invite you to use it wisely and to make sure that you are sustaining that life force and energy flow so that you have it there to be able to give to others without it being at the cost of yourself. So sending you beautiful blessings. I hope you harness this lovely new moon and the opportunity to set out a new vision for yourself. Take good care. Hi Leo, so this is your new moon in Taurus message. Thanks for joining me. We've selected a tarot and an oracle card for you. Your tarot card for this new moon is the Queen of Cups, and your oracle card is the Secret. So the Taurus new moon is activating your 10th house. You are really thinking about the legacy that you want to leave in the world. You're thinking about reputationally the impact of what's going on and how you want to make changes, what new directions, ideas or inspirations are coming through for you. And of course, like that long-term planning aspect, and that really sits well with the Taurus energy, who does need to be patient, you know, brings that sense of strength and endurance to look at the long term and to rebuild, to think about how one can feel more safe, how one can cultivate resources and you know, the material that is around us and make something really sustainable for the future. And I love that the Queen of Cups energy comes in and allows you to be deeply empathic and sensitive to the nuance of energy streams that are around you right now. So Taurus giving you that grounded energy, the 10th house very masculine oriented, but here you come up with this very intuitive, you know, quite passive, you know, allowing energy. You're really tapped in and linked into source right now. You're surrendering into the what is, but you're not letting it hold and bind you to a place. You are firmly thinking about what comes next. You are bringing in a tremendous amount of healing, which works beautifully with that Taurus energy of, you know, bringing in that kind of compassion, that very Venus ruled energy that Taurus affords us. So, the Queen of Cups, I think, is putting you in a place where you can allow that healing for self, but you can also act as that, you know, listener, as that kind of beacon of safe harbor for other people right now, at the same time as reminding you, where do I want to be in the future? And maybe for some of you, with the Queen of Cups coming through, your spiritual practice, you know, where you want to perhaps go with ideas, or your you know, new intentions around businesses, or you know, perhaps that kind of healing modality might be very apparent for many of you, kind of working on the front line in terms of the medical profession. Again, this Queen of Cups bringing in that incredibly beautiful healing energy, but also giving you some firm kind of structure and stability and endurance with Taurus to help see you through. So, you know, you're showing up as compassionate, sensitive, intuitive, and being able to really listen to the counsel of your own soul, so you can make the right decisions about what the longer term future looks like for you and those around you, but also being there for others in a way that you can give that wise counsel and guidance. Now, Saturn square to this moon is in your 7th house of partnerships, Leo. So we have the oracle card of the secret, the unknown, mysteries, wonders. Perhaps some of you in this very unusual set of circumstances are really starting to find out new things about yourself. You know, first and foremost, that relationship with self. Her third eye very activated here, and that Queen of Cups as well, her eyes are closed, so you know, powerful new answers coming from within. But it also shines a light and perhaps a little bit of tension around those key relationships in your life. So where you're coming up against new information, new understanding about perhaps some patterns, some ways of how you've showed up in the past, or the relationships that are, you know, central to your life experience, and how they might be going through some radical and profound change, you know, perhaps because you're spending a lot of time together, or perhaps that you are completely at a distance. So, you know, regardless of the circumstances you find yourself in, that activation in your 7th house is bringing up some contrast that you are being invited to sit and to go inwards and to reflect upon and trust intuitively about what it's trying to show you, what it's trying to reveal to you, so that you can harness this new moon to set about a change. You know, what do you want differently moving forward? How would you like to show up in a way that's healthier, more authentic, that allows that relationship to go to the next level? And, you know, are you being true to yourself right now? So be prepared for some real eye-opening kind of information to come to light that's set to help you. I'm sure challenge your way of thinking, or perhaps provoke, you know, a particular pattern that is ready to you know, to be adapted or to be released or redirected, Leo. Sending you beautiful blessings for this new moon. I hope you harness its potential to really think about you know, the long-term vision that you have for yourself, that beautiful creative vision of how you want to show up in the world and how you want to be seen, and what that legacy looks like for you. Take good care. Bye for now. Okay, Virgo, this is the new moon in Taurus, and your message from both the tarot and the oracle card. So the tarot card we pulled for you is the card of justice, and then the oracle card that we pulled for you is the mirror. Okay, so Virgo, this new moon activates your 9th house. It's inviting you to have a whole new vision quest, to be that truth seeker, and to really come at this energy wanting to understand the higher wisdom that's being made available to you. Taurus is a sign of wanting to feel safe and secure. It has the strength and the endurance, and it knows that it needs to put the work in order to really build something that is going to offer a sense of longevity, to be purposeful, and to really create something that is going to feel safe, going to feel rewarding, and fill you with that sense of completion. Now, your card is one of justice, and it's interesting because we have the scales coming through, we have this need for rebalancing, that Libra energy coming in. you are perhaps under this new moon being invited to think about where you need to expand your thinking to allow more balance to come into your life. What has been out of kilter? What has now been shown to you through the circumstances that we all find ourselves in right now that needs to change, you know, because you're looking for the next cycle, the next quest. And I think in order to do that, you have to feel that there are some aspects of your life that need to be cleared out. You need to make space so that you can receive more learning. You can apply yourself or direct your energy toward those things that will now light you up, that now feel important to you. Ninth house wants us to be positive, to look at the horizon, to look toward the future. And you know, this card of justice, we have this mirror image that's shown, which is interesting because your oracle card is also the mirror. Other people, other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. I guess you know, you're being invited to look at yourself, you know, from a very kind of third party perspective right now is what I want to say, you know, like be the watcher looking in. How are you handling this situation? What is it triggering within you? You know, Saturn in Aquarius square to this moon is in your 6th house of work, of health and well-being. You know, that includes your mental health, how you're being of service to yourself, how you're taking care of yourself and your needs right now. Whether balance has been thrown off, you know, what you need to do or what you're being asked to inquire within in order to restore that alignment, to find more of a grounded, centered part of yourself. I think that that's so important so that you can have this new platform with which to bounce off into this 9th house energy, so you get to feel positive. Where does the positivity come from? It comes from you feeling more balanced in mind, body and soul, from taking care of yourself, from the basics down to the nourishment of what you're eating, how you're spending your time, how much sleep you're getting, and then looking at the information that you're absorbing and how it's affecting you, how it's impacting you, and looking for those truth seekers, for that wisdom that feels and resonates at a deep core level to be something that is lifting your energy, not siphoning your energy off. So justice wants you to be fair, honest and truth-telling in your approach to what it is that you need right now. And the mirror inviting you to, you know, really explore those parts of yourself. You know, look to where your ego is trying to run the narrative at the moment. Go deeper and perhaps take the time to, you know, through meditation, really reflect on, you know, what are the central themes that are coming up right now. You know, perhaps you need to go through that metaphorical breakup of a part of yourself that's just been, you know, running the show for far too long. This is about you bringing balance back into your life and a sense of justness and fairness. But 9th house, you know, with a new moon in Taurus, incredibly positive aspects. So you are being encouraged to think about the best possible outcomes right now. You know, that's the seeds that you need to be sowing, Virgo, for this new moon cycle over the next 6 months. And you are perhaps being directed and guided toward where that learning is going to come from. You know, perhaps new gurus coming in, you know, people from overseas. You know, maybe there's some aspect of, you know, learning, rich material that wants to be placed in your pathway when you're open to it. So harness this potential, set out a new vision for yourself, be optimistic and positive, but make sure you're getting that balance in mind, body and soul right now. Virgo, thanks so much. I'm sending you bright blessings for this new moon energy. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now. Hi Libra, it's the Taurus new moon. This is your intuitive message. We've selected a tarot card for you and a oracle card. So your tarot card is the Page of Wands. Your oracle card is the Temple of Dreams. So Libra, the new moon in Taurus is in your 8th house of intimacy, of shared resources. It also activates those themes of death and rebirth, of power. And with the Page of Wands, you know, you're being invited under this new moon cycle to be very open and curious about what it has to show, what it has to teach you. You know, Taurus can be an incredibly powerful teacher of like understanding how to cultivate, how to tend to our resources, how to look after the earth, how to be able to sustain ourselves over the long term. So there's new inspiration, there's new ideas, and there's that ability to be able to give yourself the chance to begin over with something, to start a new project, to kind of really harness you know, the metamorphosis that you might be experiencing in the backdrop of what's happening right now. You know, Page of Wands is bringing those messages of hope, of optimism. She wants you to be free in your thinking. She also wants you to feel motivated and passionate. You know, 8th house is absolutely bringing in the passion. There's an intensity to the 8th house. And also, you know, it asks us to deal with those themes of power, you know, where that's triggering you right now, but also how you can work with it, you know. So maybe there is some discussions around the investment, you know, with others, where you want to align, who you want to align with, new friendships, powerful friendships that may be formed, new relationships, new collaborations coming up for you under this new moon in Taurus, Libra. Now, Saturn in Aquarius, which is square to this moon, is activating your 5th house of passion, of creativity, and also of children. So, you know, you are going to receive some tension, some conflict perhaps, and contrast with which to deal with. Your oracle card, the Temple of Dreams, suggests that, you know, you can be in an environment where you have absolutely everything that you need, and it may to the outside feel like a sanctuary, but where there is some, you know, some tension or some conflict, you know, it may well be that, you know, you are feeling the strain of that, and there's still this need to, you know, want to get going with something creative, wanting to feel that you're in this place of harmony, that you have this kind of sacred space with which to work, but also kind of feeling the restriction of that at the same time. So a little bit of a push-pull energy. There is an intensity definitely between 8th house and then the 5th house of, you know, with all that passion coming through, where, you know, if you get it directed in the right way, Libra, I feel like you can be on the cusp of creating, setting the intention, sowing the seeds of something incredibly powerful, right? 5th house is also asking you to lighten up though, but you know, where it's activated with Saturn, maybe that's feeling hard for you right now. Maybe you're feeling the weight or the responsibility, perhaps dealing with family, or being estranged from family and children right now in some capacity, and that taking its toll as well. But we do have the invitation from Taurus to say, how do we want to look toward our future? What are we going to change? You know, how do we want to change the way that we are living our lives, how we're using resources, you know, from the toxins that we use on our bodies, that we use in our household, you know, how are we thinking about the whole idea of the environment? Where are we spending and directing and investing our money? Is it in the right place? Are we investing it in our children in the right way? So, you know, there's going to be a lot of bigger themes, I think, coming in for you to work with, but there's also this powerful kind of metamorphosis energy, I think, that's taking place. It's inviting you to, you know, allow yourself to change. You know that under this new moon in Taurus, you get to start to reprioritize your life in a really different way, and that rebirth is going to help you to look at things in your life very differently. And the Temple of Dreams talks about sacred dreams, prophecies, dream journeys. So you may well be receiving an awful lot of illumination and clarity coming through, again in the 8th house, in the subconscious, okay? Taking the time to really tap into, you know, that dark moon energy and what it wants to reveal to you, because out of that comes a sense of vision and purpose, and the need to want to express, to communicate, to share those ideas, and to start on something new that I think is set to bring in a tremendous amount of joy for you. And that's what Saturn is trying to teach you with Aquarius in the 5th. How do we lighten up? How do we allow that creativity, that sense of romance in our life to flow with ease? So rich opportunity to harness this new moon energy for you, Libra. I wish you bright blessings, and please do use it to set out your new vision for the future. Take good care. Thanks for tuning in. Hey Scorpio, thanks for being here. So this is the new moon in Taurus and your intuitive message. We have a tarot card and an oracle card for you today. The tarot card is the Knight of Pentacles and your oracle card is Open Like the Lotus. Okay Scorpio, so this Taurus new moon is activating your 7th house of partnerships and connections. So we're being invited to set a new agenda, to start a new cycle, and to put out some powerful new intentions about how we want that relationship with ourselves to transform and change and expand, but also in the key relationships in our life, both professionally and personally. Now, Knight of Pentacles for me is suggesting that this is a process, you know, it's about us getting out what we put into that relationship. If you want to transform how you see yourself, your sense of value and worth, what your potential is, and you know how you can bring the best of yourself, Knight of Pentacles, very grounded earthy energy linking beautifully into Taurus, is saying to you it's about being consistent, it's about showing up, it's about working through what at times might feel like some of the more mundane aspects of you know, the rituals that we need to put in place to take care of ourselves, body, mind and soul. But it's through that sustained nurturing and consistency, which Taurus is inviting us to so powerfully anyway with this new moon, that you are going to see the real transformation in that area of your life. So the new moon cycle over the next 6 months till we reach that full moon in Taurus later in the year, emphasizing what you can do to improve the key relationships in your life. What are you prepared to put in, Scorpio? Because that is where you will start to really set the seeds and the foundations of a new pathway to begin. And we have this beautiful Open Like the Lotus, flowering spirit, revelation, maturity. And I do think that the Knight of Pentacles is coming at this from a sense of maturity. You know, there is a loyalty that's shown with the Knight of Pentacles. You need to be loyal to yourself right now, Scorpio, but also to identify where you want to place that loyalty in other relationships in your life. Of course, the lotus flower comes through the difficult kind of muddy foundation and then blossoms beautifully. A reminder that through the most challenging of circumstances, you can still bloom. You can still find the lightness and the play. Now, Saturn in Aquarius, which is square to this moon, is activating your 4th house, your home life, right? Of course, many of us stuck in our homes at the moment. So a real emphasis around perhaps the heaviness and the kind of more challenging aspects of that, because we're being triggered and you know, there's tension coming up with that square, but also our internal emotional foundations, that internal emotional landscape. But again, reminding you that you do have this beautiful source of light within, the fairies showing up here, the elemental energies, to say that you have access to that stillness, that peace, that beauty, and it comes from within. So even where you feel restricted or you have that sense of heaviness, you can go inwards and still seek to find the light. And any consistency in a practice of going inwards, whether that be through meditation, trying to find the balance and the harmony in your life, you know, through any kind of practice that you can bring about at this time, is going to bring the rewards for you, you know. So use this new moon cycle to bring about profound change in your life. You know, perhaps you're looking at new mindfulness, you know, you're maybe deploying a new spiritual practice or inviting yourself to connect with your breath through yoga. Maybe there's the opportunity to strengthen those key relationships in your life within the home because of new rituals and structures that you're putting in place, the way that you keep showing up with a sense of duty and loyalty of respect and of being grounded, so not so triggered by the petty stuff, you know, but really checking in with your own emotional energies at any given point to say, what can I learn from this? How do I want to change it? How do I want to cultivate this environment to deliver more? Knight of Pentacles is about movement forward. It might be slow and steady, but here's where it does win the race, right? You are absolutely going to make some profound, lasting change in the way that you show up in your relationships under this new moon in Taurus, if you direct your mindset and your energy in the right way, Scorpio. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the beautiful blessings of this new moon. Take good care of yourself. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hi Sagittarius, this is your new moon in Taurus message. Thanks for tuning in. We've selected 2 cards, a tarot card and an oracle card for you today. Your tarot card is Judgment and your oracle card is the Full Moon Temple. Beautiful. Okay, so this Taurus new moon is coming in and activating your 6th house of service. Where do you want to set new intentions around how you can be more efficient, how you can put better levels of self-care in place? What are the rituals? How do you value yourself and the work that you do? How do you want to be of service? Judgment is bringing in a powerful sense of liberation. So maybe you finally have the opportunity with the current backdrop that we're in to allow a really profound transformation to take place in this area of your life. You know, 6th house is all about that sense of duty, but it has to be duty toward oneself first and foremost. And we see this beautiful liberation coming through with the card of Judgment. What do you need to release? Where do you need to forgive? What is inviting you to be more tolerant or to make a change so that you can let go of the burden of something? Judgment is bringing in a powerful transformational energy into that 6th house for you. So Taurus, of course, wants to cultivate, it wants to protect and to nurture, it wants you to feel safe, it wants you to exercise control and measure around the resources and the way that you direct your energy, knowing that things can take time. Taurus has patience and strength and endurance, it has loyalty and that deep grounded energy. And 6th house, you know, ruled by Virgo, again that beautiful earth energy, is giving a lot of stability coming in for you under this particular transit. So over this next 6 months, you think about the ways that you want to make changes, invite in new energy and new pathways of perhaps where you want to spend your time, the new rituals that you're bringing in for yourself. The Full Moon Temple celebration peak, a moment of transcendence, and perhaps under this new moon or dark moon as we also call it, you are being invited to work with some of that shadow energy, illuminating a deeper subconscious part of you that wants to be acknowledged, that wants to show you a different way, how you can change, how you can transform, how you can release and begin something anew. Now Saturn in Aquarius, which is squaring this moon, is activating your 3rd house of communication, the way that you think. So there's some challenge and there's some conflict that comes up here. It also rules siblings, it rules short-term plans. So, you know, there are some changes that we're all having to adapt and adjust to. The Full Moon Temple is inviting you to really surrender in and to see what is being shown to you, perhaps in terms of some of the way that you have communicated or the way that you think, that can now be released under that sense of judgment. Okay, beautiful healing energy that comes in with that Full Moon Temple, almost a place of worship, a place for you to commune with your own higher self, and to really make sure that the things that you're thinking right now are coming in on a very positive, high vibrational energy, so that when the new moon arrives, that you're setting out a directive for yourself that is where you want to go, that you're not tapped into any lower fear-based energy that is, you know, taking you back into situations or triggering patterns, you know, that are unhealthy for you. This is a time of renewal, of change, of metamorphosis, and it all starts with that kind of aspect of taking care of yourself in a better way, and that includes your thoughts, right? So third house, the way that we think, the way that we communicate, you know, really thinking about the energy of that, coming at it from a place of profound awareness, conscious awareness and integrity, so that with each and every word spoken or written, the thoughts that you're thinking, that they're all helping you to move towards a life that you really want for yourself, surrounded by people that are resonant and supportive and equally uplifting to your energy as well, Sagittarius. So I hope that you harness these beautiful new moon energies to set out this new vision for yourself, that you give yourself the forgiveness, the compassion, the tolerance, whatever it is that you need to release, that happens, so that you create space for something really new and exciting, and that you think about the ways that you want to show up, because this year is set to deliver those powerful manifestations for you when you look after yourself and treat yourself with the same care and respect, and divine love and empathy and compassion that not only you deserve, but that you want to then send back out into the universe. So take good care, bright blessings for the new moon. Thanks for being here. Hey Capricorn, this is your new moon in Taurus intuitive message. Thanks for joining me. I've selected a tarot card and an oracle card for you for this new moon. So your tarot card is the Page of Pentacles and your oracle card is the Leap. Okay, so the new moon in Taurus activates your 5th house of passion and creativity. And it seems to me that with the Page of Pentacles, you are being invited to explore the idea of where something new, where a new project, where a new idea, a new initiative is coming through, something that perhaps you're already thinking about or is set to be dropped in to your intuitive kind of conscious awareness through this cycle. You are absolutely being invited to take a bit of a leap of faith with it. You know, this is a time of being open to working outside of the lines, being really unorthodox and innovative in your approach. Perhaps you found yourself in a set of circumstances with that Saturn in your 2nd house where, you know, income stream or you know, the material resources available to you have had some wild kind of changes, and you're needing to think about how you make an adjustment to that. So Page of Pentacles is saying perhaps I need to pivot, I need to relook, I need to learn something new, I need to add something else in. There is the offer, there's an opportunity that may well come your way. You're being invited to take that leap, to believe in yourself, to look ahead right now and say what lights me up. Really important with that 5th house to think about. There's no point in going back into something that feels heavy and mundane and cumbersome. You know, this is your opportunity to start afresh, to have a new beginning, to invite in some different kind of energy, and perhaps that means a slightly different approach or a different way of looking at something, working with different types of people, but having the bravery to just kind of set something in motion, knowing under that Taurus energy that it might not be overnight, but that's okay, because we're now looking at the long term. We're looking at putting something in place that's going to be sustainable and give us a really powerful, strong foundation with which to work on. And the Page of Pentacles doesn't know everything, and that's okay. You know, maybe you're starting out afresh, or you're coming at it from a, you know, a real place of being a novice, and don't be afraid under this new moon. You know, Taurus is saying, how do I help you to feel safe? You know, how can I help you to look after and tend to that garden within your own soul, so that you can really set something beautiful to start to take seed and nourish and germinate, and it will flourish into something that I think is really beautiful and spectacular. But it is about you having the belief not only within yourself, but also in the directive and the path that you're on and where you find yourself right now. Okay, so think about the way that you are being triggered in and around that 2nd house of finances, of your own self-worth, of how you want to show up and where you want that abundance to flow into your life. And then what do I feel creative towards? Where do I feel inspired? Where's the lightness? What really inspires me just now? That's where you're going to start to find the illumination of answers right now. Of course, fifth house is also about romance, and so, you know, maybe there's the reaching out, there's some kind of tentative messages that are starting to emerge for some of you, or coming at it from a place of, you know, I want to learn, I want to explore, I want to know more, I want to be open to seeing a different perspective, or someone else's point of view. Page of Pentacles, you know, again, just hungry for information, wants to learn, wants to know. So I think you can take that and work with it in that fifth house energy under Taurus to set new intentions of like, help me be open to where I can tap into deeper potential within myself, the people that I connect with, so that I can find that sense of falling back in love with my life, with myself, with my children, my relationships, my partners. You know, this is all coming in under this beautiful nurturing Taurus energy ruled by Venus. Wants you to feel indulgent in the luxury and the opportunity to really revel in what it is that you can create and manifest for yourself, but definitely inviting you to be bold and take some big, strong leaps of faith within yourself. That's where your bliss is coming, Capricorn. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you bright blessings for this new moon. You take good care. Hi Aquarius, thank you for joining me. This is your new moon in Taurus intuitive message. I've selected a tarot card and an oracle card for you. So go ahead and have a look at your tarot card, which is the card of Temperance, and your oracle card, which is the Isle of Wonders, Revelation, Teaching, Discovery. Okay, so this new moon in Taurus is activating your fourth house. Fourth house of emotional foundations, of that need to nest, to connect with family, very nurturing, all about the home environment right now. And with the card of Temperance, we're trying to find moderation and balance. We're inviting in a sense of beautiful healing energy. And there is a need that you know, we have to find the ability to be patient, okay? Taurus wants us to be patient with the progress. It wants to bring in balance and stability and harmony for us within our own emotional landscape and the environments with which we find ourselves in right now. And I guess that can be very challenging for many, as you may find being at home, locked away, you know, is triggering you deeply in many different areas. But Temperance wants to bring in a sense of moderation and harmony. It wants you to keep adjusting the way that you think or what you're doing to get the right approach. And perhaps that's what's needed with yourself, you know, maybe with your children, with your immediate family. But it is about finding what feels safe and secure. You know, Taurus wants us to have that sense of inner security first and foremost. And Temperance is saying get that balance, that equilibrium within yourself, and then you can start to work to bring balance and harmony into the environment around you as well. So, you know, we have this Saturn in your sign, of course, square to this moon, which is, you know, bringing in some tough love. It's perhaps showing you where you need to take responsibility, and that maybe is feeling a little bit uncomfortable around you at the moment. And I'm sure you're in a set of circumstances that will bring its own very unique set of challenges to you personally right now, Aquarius. But, you know, Saturn's going to be working in your sign for some time. So, you know, pay attention to the theme of it squaring to this Taurus moon in your fourth house, and see what it's showing and what it's bringing up, because you have the opportunity to set seeds and to put new intentions out there that can help you with earth medicine, help you with new solutions, help you to understand yourself in a new way, so that you can allow that reinvention, that transformation to take place. And here we have the Isle of Wonders, beautiful sacred sanctuary that's saying within you, you can access the revelation, you can access the teaching, and you can discover the true light of your own soul. You can find the answers to what it is that you need to be, you know, bringing in that firmer foundation. all of the water suggesting perhaps there is an overwhelm of emotions going on under this new moon for you. You know, the birds flying freely, perhaps just feeling like a little bit out of control at some point. But you know what, this is also a place of sanctuary if you allow it to be. We have the little crane right down in the corner here that sits peacefully just overlooking this entire landscape and the narrative and the story that's playing out. And I think you're being invited to tap into the energy of this crane here, you know, and again the temperance energy bringing in this beautiful angelic force, saying, you know what, there are higher powers right now that are supporting you and guiding you and directing you and inviting you to find the stillness and the peace, regardless of the kind of rapid, fast flowing water that might be kind of flowing around you at any given point. We look up toward that clear, and the sky is clear, which is really important. So if you feel hemmed in, if you're feeling kind of enclosed in that environment right now, you can look upwards. You can connect into something bigger and greater than what is happening in the physical right now, to find that true clarity of vision and to help you set out a new store for yourself about what is important, what matters, what's going to make you feel safe, what is your place of respite and sanctuary. I hope that you harness the potential of this Taurus moon that wants you to create a beautiful, vast, blossoming garden for yourself, both within and in your immediate home environment, the places with which you reside and work. So this is a 6-month cycle we're working with until that completion at the full moon in Taurus later this year. So pay attention and make sure that your energy is going towards one of balance, of harmony, of healing, and that you can work with that theme of patience and endurance to see this time through, which you will. Sending you beautiful blessings for this new moon, Aquarius. Take good care. Hey Pisces, it's the Taurus new moon. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. This is your intuitive message. I have selected a tarot card and an oracle card for you. Your tarot card for this new moon in Taurus, oh beautiful, is the Star. And your oracle card is Sky Fire, messages, channels, information. Okay, so the Taurus new moon activates your 3rd house, Pisces. 3rd house helping you to think about the way that you are communicating and the way that you are thinking. The Star energy inviting you to think bigger, to set out a bright, bold new vision for yourself under this powerful, grounded, earthly Taurus new moon. Taurus wants to bring in sustainable, long-term change. It wants to bring in something that feels solid, that new foundation that is not only achievable, but will also help you to tend to the garden of your own soul as well as that of the garden of earth. Now we have Saturn in Aquarius, which is squaring this moon, and that is in your 12th house, your 12th house of closure and ending, of secrets, of solitude, and of profound healing. And both with the Star and this beautiful card of Sky Fire, where we talk about messages and channeling information, there's something incredibly celestial and spiritual about what is being activated and awoken within you under the contrast of that square. So perhaps it might feel uncomfortable as you awaken to the truth of something within yourself or a particular situation. But it is inviting you to use that contrast and then to connect into something greater than you, to look beyond yourself. And, you know, maybe some short-term plans have been disrupted. Of course, you know, under the current situation we all find ourselves in, it can be difficult to think about, you know, feeling really hopeful and optimistic. But the Star is inviting in that powerful sense of renewal energy for you. You know, in terms of relationships, the 3rd house is about our closest friends and colleagues, our siblings even. So you have the opportunity under this new moon to set new intentions about the plans that you want to put in place. And even if they can't happen right now, what do you want over this next 6-month cycle? Rest assured that powerful wave of energy that the collective is all directing towards a better future, a freer future, is so important right now, and it's immeasurable the value that you can put upon setting that new creative vision out for yourself and being hopeful and optimistic, and really helping you to understand that the stars can align for so many of those dreams that you have. Now, in the 12th house, you know, we are really being asked to surrender deeply into our subconscious, and that sky fire is illuminating some important information that you need to consider. You know, the new moon, also known as the dark moon, does take us into our shadow self, and you know, that square could feel uncomfortable. You know, maybe there's some emotions and some triggers that are coming up, Pisces, but they're deeply healing. And if you think about them all being sources of profound information, you know, our emotions are information. They're constantly guiding us towards where we need to focus or heal or release or redirect or, you know, transmute energy. And I think it would be really encouraging for you to take some time to connect into that deeper part of your soul self, so you can illuminate and work with that sky fire. For me, it, you know, really kind of makes me think about the sacred violet flame of transmutation and how you can work with that to release any kind of negativity, to allow some closure to come in, healing in the areas that you need to, but also to almost allow yourself to channel the information that wants to come through from the divine or from your guides or your higher self. You know, that part of you that perhaps you're not really wanting to acknowledge or face or be aware of right now. You know, we're all being asked to really consider, you know, the patterns of behavior that we have, and in the current set of circumstances you find yourself in, that could feel really intense, but there's also something, for me, incredibly cathartic about this energy. And Taurus is holding that really safe space for you to be able to do that, you know. Saturn squaring with Uranus as well, so it wants to bring in radical change. It wants to disrupt something for you, and it might just be your way of thinking, you know, allowing a cycle to come to a point of ending and completion, and for you to really feel that sense of beautiful renewal coming through. So be optimistic, use the energy wisely, Pisces, to see a greater vision for the future for yourself, and for the collective and the people who you love and care for. Listen to your soul and where it's triggering and bringing up that sense of inner conflict and tension, because it's rich information for you to be able to work with under this new moon, and then set a new directive. I send you beautiful blessings. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take good care. Bye for now.